This is Ion Sullivan. I am Mike McGuire, your host, joined today as we are each week by the chairman, Rob Doherty. Rob, it is now officially your weather.
Oh my God, this is the best. I went to work this morning, like I do every morning.
Yep.
2:20 in the morning.
Yep.
And it was a slight rain, 56 degrees. Oh, it was heaven.
I was out running this morning and I said, this is Rob's weather.
Oh, this is it.
This is ideal. A little mist was falling.
Best 10 weeks of the year.
It was just terrific. So we had an exciting week last week.
We did have an exciting week last week.
Last Wednesday night, I had an opportunity I haven't been to the circus in years, and I had an opportunity to go to the circus. And it was right down in Eldred, in the Town of Highland.
That is quite the circus down there, by the way.
And it was every bit of a three-ring circus.
Well, the one thing I can tell you is the guy running the show is acting like a clown here.
Well, I'm telling you, you can't have a circus without a couple of clowns.
And by the way, he's more than welcome to come on the show any day he wants, and we will be happy to discuss all his follies because they are piling up one after another.
They're piling up, and it's every time I drive down there, and I go down there quite often because I do a lot of work in Lumberland.
Okay.
And I just...
Well, you go down to the court also to see our good friend...
Judge LaRufa?
Judge LaRufa.
Absolutely. It's such a beautiful town.
It is really, really a nice town.
It's truly America.
It is.
It's
small town America.
Central grocery store there, Peck's Market, that everybody rolls through there.
Yeah.
You got the town hall across the street, the firehouse next door, the post office down the street. It's just a little diner around the corner.
Yeah.
It's a slice of America, and this guy is just well. What was remarkable in the meeting was there was an application to replace the old defibrillators.
Okay.
And I guess they have
town business. Yeah.
Town business buildings. And, in the county, we have defibrillators in all the county buildings.
Along with Narcan.
Well, then we got the Narcan dispensing machines.
Yeah.
Just in case, you need a bag of chips and a Narcan, you can get them right in the government center. Multiple locations.
10, 12 of them were once used in the parking lot.
Absolutely. So they're talking about defibrillators, and here's Bozo saying, well, they're $1,200. I don't know if we can afford them, knowing he just spent $60,000 on a witch hunt report from the Bonado.
Well, actually, it's an in-kind campaign donation.
It is. Okay. It is that. So it was really remarkable.
Hold on. Then they went on in that same meeting.
Yep.
And so, when you say Americana, I mean, the town of Highland is Americana.
It's America.
Okay. So they for years they've been putting up these banners of people that have served in the military,
lost their life or whatever.
They could still be alive, but they served in the military, with honor, and they are a part of the town.
Correct.
Right. So they've been putting up these banners for years.
And you know what? And the names. As you drive by, I find myself slowing down because you read the names.
Correct.
And the names are families that are still very active in the town.
Very active. So, the highway guys,
right,
go out and they donate their time.
Yep.
And they put them up, and they have to rent a lift to do so. Okay?
Right, because they're
10, 15 feet.
In fact, it was talking about a guy who was standing in the back of a pickup truck on a ladder putting them up initially.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And these were veterans.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
Well, I'm sure they've done worse than that in the Army.
Well, no question about that.
So anyway, he refuses to pay the bill. It's $1,200 to rent the lift.
Right.
And he's like, no, we're not paying that. We don't have money for that.
Right.
Let me get this straight. You don't have money to put a lock down on the firehouse down in Barryville.
Right.
You don't have money for defibrillators. You don't have money to put up banners that represent families and members who served honorably, for this country.
Right.
Okay? But we have $64,000 to do an in-kind donation to Sonia Kidney. Because that's what this is.
Well, it's all about the ends justify the means.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So just before we invite our guest on, I just want to remind everyone, and I believe the report is online, correct?
It is online.
Okay, and they handed it out at that meeting.
Yeah, they came around and they had them to hand out.
Okay, so at the top of the first page, okay, it says, okay, summary and roles and responsibilities. We were not engaged to and did not include conduct an audit. They say that right off the rip. Okay,
the first paragraph.
Okay, and that's very important because then when we get into the rest of the discussion, I want everyone to remember on the first page, summary of roles and responsibilities. We were not engaged to and did not conduct an audit. That's what the people, Bonado, says when they speak of this.
And
okay,
that sets the tone for the entire report.
Correct.
That sets the tone for the entire report.
Because it couldn't have been an audit, because as we spoke before, they did not talk to the accounting firm.
Right.
They did not talk to the current clerk, and they did not talk to the old clerk. Okay.
Well, and they only looked at selected records. They didn't look at everything.
Correct.
Which, as we know, when the auditors come to the county for a month, they dig everything.
Correct.
They take a look at absolutely everything because they're not hired to prove a specific fact.
Correct.
They're hired to look and see where the evidence brings them.
They're hired to just lay out the facts.
Correct.
This is what your numbers tell us.
That's right.
Okay, and it's not and then that falls into whether they're stressed, not stressed. Like here in the town of Liberty, mucho stress.
There's lots of stress.
Yeah, lots of stress.
We stress.
Yeah. Well, and again, I'm not beating up on any elected officials. A lot of times it's out of their hands.
Right. You got all those unfunded mandates that have to be covered.
Well, not only that, I mean, the county legislators, up the garbage by so much money.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that tax report that came out yesterday. Did you see that?
I didn't. Tell us about it.
So the tax report came out yesterday, and it tells you where all our taxes come from, where all the sales tax comes from.
Okay.
So number one is still building material and supply dealers.
Well,
okay.
A lot of building going on.
That's my point. You have to understand this. This thing is number one by a mile.
By a mile.
It's almost double the closest second. Okay. And what happens when the building stops? Okay, because at some point we're going to be at capacity.
And there's a lot of building, a lot of renovation of buildings going on just here in Liberty.
Correct.
And when that's done,
where we
that's
going?
it.
Number 2 is department stores. Number 3 is automobile dealers. Number 4 is gasoline stations. Number 5 is restaurant and other eating places. And number 6 is travel accommodations. Now, when I remember when we were in the legislature, you were the county attorney and I was the chairman from District 1. I used to say, the Visitors Association used to come up and say, we are responsible for all the tax.
Well, not only did they say that, but we had legislators that said that.
Correct. And the thing that they would generate would be number 4, by the way, gasoline stations. But don't forget, there's 80,000 people that live here every day.
Yep.
Okay. That go to work every day, work, church, and home every day. Okay. And then I would say more than half the population that comes here during the summer are not coming here because of the SCVA.
They're not coming here because of the SCVA, and the Bethel Woods folks that come here and may or may not buy gas.
Well, if they're camping, they can buy gas.
They're not buying gas. They're camping.
Yeah.
They're not here for the SCVA. They're here for, whoever's playing.
The multi-million-dollar marketing program that Bethel Woods has going.
Correct.
That has nothing to do with the SCVA.
Nothing to do with the SCVA, and nor does the casino. They, too, are spending millions.
Millions. Okay.
So, which means that all of the lodging accommodations at the casino have very little to do with the SCVA.
Very little.
And all of the camping accommodations at Bethel Woods have nothing to do with the SCVA.
Very little.
So,
and Airbnb also.
but
Okay?
what does have a
VRBO.
lot to do with the SCVA is all of the money that's now coming in from short-term rentals that are now paying. Oh, that wasn't the SCVA. They don't support. I forgot. They don't market those.
I think the old chairman of the legislature went to the county attorney
Yeah.
and said, I don't care if they're in a tent in someone's backyard. If they're paying to stay there, I want the money.
We want to go get it.
Okay, we got down so far, right? When we were into like the 14th, 15th company, it was literally tenter.
Tenter.
Yeah, and they was literally renting tents to people.
They were renting tents to people.
Yeah, and we got their money too.
And when we got down to number 14, as soon as we called them, they were like, "We've been expecting you.
Exactly.
Send us the agreement."
Exactly. So remember, they bashed us, and meanwhile we took them from the year before I came in, which was $800,000 that the SCV was given, and after I left, they were given $3.1 million. So let's take it easy.
You screwed them and destroyed the economy.
I screwed them and destroyed the economy. But the other thing is when you look at those numbers, okay, so, and this is where, this group of legislators is going to get a little wily here. So their sales tax is down 0.8%, okay? Mm-hmm. And they're going to sit there and say it's a matter of $12 million, okay? Mm-hmm. They're going to say, it's $11,308,000, okay? They're going to turn around and say the whole world is turned upside down,
Right.
because we missed out on this money. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case at all. You knew the sales tax was falling in the county, and you did not change anything in your budget
Nothing.
to help it. In fact, you ramped up spending. Now remember, before I came in, 4 years in a row, the people who are in charge now were in charge then, and they overspent their revenues 4 years in a row.
Correct.
And they're doing it again.
They're doing well. That's what
That's
they
who
do.
they are.
And what I can hear them saying now is, well, it's cyclical. These things happen.
No, you need to manage your money every day.
Well, it kind of is cyclical because Nadia and company were there
Yeah.
before you and overspent their budget, and now the cycle comes around.
Correct.
And they're back overspending their budget.
Correct. They're doing a fine job overspending their budget.
So the other observation that I would make from the Highland meeting before we bring in our special guest, so they have part of the meeting, then they adjourn to executive session.
Okay.
I don't know why they adjourned to executive session, but I suspect it may be some information that their town attorney received about a lawsuit might have gotten.
Did you see what the? Oh, well, we'll get to
We'll get to
that guy
So-
in a second.
So they take 30, 45 minutes, something like that, in executive session, talking about presumably
Wait, hold on.
Bonado
Hold on.
report.
So they start the meeting.
Can start the meeting.
They do some business.
Yep.
Then they go into the executive session.
Yep.
And then come back.
For more business.
They're trying to clear the room.
Of course they are.
That's what the whole game is. They're there to clear the room so that then they can conduct the business they want to conduct without anyone watching.
Well,
that's what the game is.
And then, so they come back and they do more business, and then the last thing they do is public comment on the agenda. The agenda's over now. So they really have no interest in the public comment.
Correct.
And
I believe they cut it down from 3 minutes down to 2
they
minutes.
cut it from 3 to 2.
Okay.
There were 3 presenters. And after they made these folks sit around for 30 minutes while they were in executive session, they could have done that at the end.
Correct.
The executive session, which you always did.
Correct.
Then it was 2 minutes.
And then you'd say there's no further business.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
And you'd let them know there'd be no business coming out of it. And then they cut them to 2 minutes, and I mean cut them. Like, when you were in the middle of a word, it was like, time's up. That's it. Now, I remember when you were holding people to supposed to be 3 minutes, which, by the way, passed on a unanimous vote of the
Correct.
legislature.
And by the way, every school board in the county is that way.
Correct.
Every single one is that way.
This guy cuts it down to 2 minutes, only 3 people speaking, so it's 6 minutes.
Correct.
And it was a hard 2 minutes. No finished a sentence, no nothing. And where was the outcry that we saw in the legislature when you would let people go on for 15 minutes?
People would
and
stand
finally
up.
stop.
People would come up and say, "I'm going to need some extra time."
Right, before they open their mouth.
Before they even open their mouth, because you know it's a canned speech.
It's a
right?
canned speech,
right? And they practice it in the mirror over and over and over again, and then they want to go home and watch it again over and over and over again.
Of course. So
anyway,
I had an opportunity to speak.
I heard.
It was nice.
I heard. I watched it.
But at 2 minutes, I was cut. I had planned a 3 minutes. It was cut at 2 minutes. Whatever, the message got out. And with that, let's bring on our special guest.
Okay.
So this Bonado report speaks a lot about the goings on in the town clerk's office in the town of Highland. It doesn't speak to the town clerk or the prior town clerk.
Or the accounting firm.
Or the accounting firm. So they leave out about 25 years of experience. And with that...
And also, the people who have all the bank reconciliations.
Correct.
Okay? So they say twice, I believe, in that report that they did not have the bank reconciliations.
Right.
And they also mentioned they didn't know how the money was logged. Mm-hmm. I have a quick tip.
Yeah.
Ask the person who logged it.
Ask the right.
Okay.
Right.
And you'll get an answer. Because if you're not looking for the answer, you're never going to find it.
You're not going to ask the questions.
Yeah, correct.
And, a person in their second week of the police academy would know that you don't close an investigation before you attempt to speak to the target.
Correct.
You just don't. I mean,
maybe
your sister will tell us that.
She'll tell you a lot of things about that. But anyway, so even if you speak to the target last, okay, sometimes they talk to them first, and then sometimes it's last, okay? Right. You still have to speak to the target at some point.
Right.
To sit there and say, there's $5.4 million in tax money that's unaccounted for. That's what they say.
Right.
But Nancy Buck says all the money's there.
Right.
Okay. And she's the county treasurer. Mm-hmm. And John Pizzalato, basically the treasurer of the town, the chief financial officer.
Not basically, he is the treasurer of the town.
The chief financial officer of the town signs off on it.
Correct.
Saying it's all there.
It's all there.
Okay?
Yep.
Otherwise, you and I are going to the bank and we're going to buy the whole town of Highland.
Correct.
Because it would all be up for auction. So,
And it'd be a nice town to own.
Yeah, it'd be a nice town to own.
So, with that, the undersheriff would be upset. We went to 15, 20 minutes before getting into this, but we'll bring him in another time. So, with that, it is our pleasure to welcome to Ion Sullivan, the elected target and town clerk for the town of Highland, Sue Hoffman. Sue, good morning.
Good morning.
So, Sue, we're going to try to drill down on some of this. We're going to try to fill in some of the holes, and we're not even going to charge the town the $64,000 for giving them a more complete report of what really has been going on.
Because we're going to actually talk to the person.
All right, that's right.
Who logged the money.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Oh, and the other thing that report says, that there was no money, no checks made out there was no cash missing.
No cash missing.
There was no wires
missing.
To Sue or any of her family members. There was no checks written to Sue or her family members.
No suspicious checks.
There were no suspicious checks. They talked about someone had made a complaint, and there's a lot of that in the town of Highland, by the way. They were like, well, I think this is going on. And it winds up not happening. The DEC tags, they said, were being sent somewhere else, and,
Yeah, not happening. Not happening. And it was interesting, when they came out of executive session, the town board took immediate action to address the issues in the report by now having dual signatures on the town checks.
Okay.
Well, what part of this report talks about improper checks that were written?
It doesn't at all.
In fact, it says there were none.
If anything, there should be two people who sign off on the deposit tickets.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. If the issue is the deposit tickets coming from the building department, and we don't know if it was the BSL or the whatever the names of the programs are, if that's the issue and we can't figure it out,
right?
Okay, how about we both sign off on it?
How about we both sign off on them?
Okay.
Right. But no. We're going to take immediate action. And again, so the action that they take is just a prophylactic to try to put the office in a bad light.
Well, that's why I keep saying that this, and now we have another one, is an in-kind campaign donation.
That's all it is.
To Sonia Kidney. And
That's all it is.
And I'm not telling you how to run your campaign, but if that was me, I would call the BOE.
Of course.
And I would say, this is what they're doing. And Sonia Kidney's voting on this stuff.
That's remarkable.
Okay? She's voting on this stuff knowing that it's helping her. So
that night she voted.
Correct.
It's incredible.
Okay? A conflict of interest, most people don't misunderstand what a conflict of interest is.
Right.
Conflict of interest is something that helps your household.
Correct.
Okay? It helps your household income.
Right.
Okay? Her getting a job that pays her, how much do you make this, sir?
43.
$43,000 instead of making $6,000.
Right.
Helps her household.
I guess it does.
Okay? So she's in a legal definition of a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I mean, she has an interest in the outcome of an election, and
Correct.
she's engaging in taking votes that will that are intended to affect the outcome of the election.
Correct.
It's not like a collateral damage. It's intended for that.
That's what this whole thing is.
Whole thing is.
Because if they really wanted an answer, they would have went to their accountant firm and said, "Can you do an audit?"
And they specifically didn't do an audit, but refer to it as an audit.
Well, we're going to get into that in a second.
We're going to get into that in a minute.
Talk to
But
Sue.
let's bring Sue in. Sue, good morning.
Good morning.
And Sue, why don't you, for the benefit of our audience, just tell us how long have you worked in the clerk's office, and then when were you first elected as the town clerk?
I started working in the clerk's office as a deputy in January of 2021.
Okay.
I was appointed in March of 2021 when Doreen Hansen retired.
Mm-hmm.
I was elected in November, unopposed, in 2021.
Okay. So Doreen Hansen, a well-respected, well-known name down in the town of Highland.
Yes.
In fact, I believe that some of the salute to veterans that we saw when you drive through the town and they don't want to pay for the lift to put them up, I believe at least one or two of them are Hansons.
Correct.
So they're well-known people down there and well-respected people down there. So she had been the town clerk for how long?
20 years.
All right. So you go and work as her deputy, probably knowing that she's going to be retiring.
Correct.
All right. And so she, in the county, we used to talk about overlap periods. In fact, the chairman created a program so that you could have an experienced person kind of mentor the new person in so that the transitions would be seamless.
Because you're taking someone that has 20, 25 years of knowledge
Right.
and experience.
Right.
And what they did before I was there, they would just walk out the door and
With
then
the knowledge.
with the knowledge and then replace the person.
Right.
And I said, this is a little silly to me. I mean, why don't we have that person on a 6 to 8 week basis?
Yep.
You know, tell the person how to do the job. Look for tell them the pitfalls. If this happens, that happens, and that's what happened with you guys,
Yes.
correct? And that's the proper way to manage.
It's the proper way to manage. So Doreen knew she was retiring in March. Her husband, I think, had retired already, right?
I believe he was still a code enforcer at that time.
But he had retired from the town
He had-
board.
Retired from the town board.
Yes.
And he was recovering from a heart attack
Okay.
in 2019, I believe, or 2020. He had a heart attack, and he was definitely easing out of the situation.
Okay. So when you took that position, you knew that Doreen was going to be retiring in a couple of months.
Right. And that she was always a phone call away.
And that's important.
Correct.
Because maybe Pizzalato doesn't have a phone. Maybe that's the problem.
Oh, he has a phone. You should see some of the posts he puts
Oh,
up on it.
okay.
I mean, come on.
Or maybe Bonado doesn't have a phone because nobody called. She's a phone call away. So now, just to be clear, you said that when Doreen Hansen retired, that you were appointed
Yes, I was appointed by the town board.
Okay. And the town board at that time was chaired by whom?
Jeff Haas.
Now, Jeff Haas,
Well,
Donald Haas.
It's Donald Haas. I mean,
Donald.
let's not go around
Donald.
with this,
Donald J. Haas.
J. Haas.
Jeff nonsense. It
And
is Donnie Haas.
He's a member of what political party?
The Republican Party.
And you are registered how?
I'm a registered Democrat.
So, again, folks, just so that we're clear about who is and is not playing politics and who is and who's not weaponizing their government authority, Jeff Haas, a Republican, appointed a Democrat.
Correct. So Fred was also a Republican.
Yep.
Caitlin Haas was a Republican also. So the majority of the town board at the time is Republican.
Right.
I just want you to be clear.
And
on
they
this issue.
appoint a Democrat, and they bring in a Democrat knowing that there's going to be a transition.
It was the best qualified person. That's
They
why they
brought
did
the
it.
best qualified person in.
Correct.
That's my point, is watch what certain political folks will accuse you of, because that's what they're doing.
correct.
So, all right.
Did we learn that or what?
Boy, did we ever learn that. So they bring you in, you have Doreen mentor you.
Yes.
And-
And I also had 2 deputies under me.
Okay. So that was your first foray into town municipal governance.
Correct.
All right. And before that, what kind of work did you do?
My husband and I owned a diner, deli,
Okay.
the Hewlin Country Store.
Okay. So it was
We did
a
that.
family-owned business.
And I also worked at the Center for Discovery for almost 8 years.
Okay. So you managed and helped operate. No offense to Hank. We know Hank was in charge. At least he thought he was. At the Hewlin Country Store, which is a great place. And then you went to work at a major business, the Center for Discovery. That was your preparation.
Correct.
All right. And then you get the job with the Town of Highland, and you have Doreen, who had been there for how long before you?
At least 20 years.
At least 20 years. And Doreen probably over that 20 years had developed policies and procedures for how the office would manage.
Correct.
At any time, was Doreen under suspicion or investigation for the way she ran that office?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge, and not to the public's knowledge either.
Correct.
All right. And so you go in there and you learn from Doreen
Yes.
how the different systems run, how the software runs, and whatnot. And then Doreen leaves, and do you change everything when she's out the door, or pretty much continue the programs that she had?
Pretty much keep it the same
The same. And you did that from 2021
till present.
till the present.
Till February.
Yeah, until they took her computer away.
Right.
Then I have a question, so that we can be clear on this. When you sit at the table, right, during a town board meeting, right, how close is the attorney to you?
Same as what Mike is.
Okay, so we're talking 10 feet away.
Probably.
So when he says he didn't know that you were not giving back your computer,
My machine.
your machine, okay. Was he 90? Like I joke with that when
Right.
like when I talk to my kids, I'm like, oh, the old info web, right?
Right,
I'm
right.
just doing dad jokes, right? So and he never asked you, did you get your machine back? Right? No. He never. So when he says, oh, I didn't know she didn't get it back, but every month he shows up to the meeting, you're 10 feet from him,
Correct.
and he never says, hey, did you get that machine back yet?
No.
Well, I think it's even worse.
Okay.
He didn't just
Worse. Okay.
turn a blind eye to it. He made an affirmative representation that she had gotten her machine back. And even when we spoke to one of the senior partners in his firm who spoke to him, he told the senior partner that she had gotten her computer back, her machine back.
So he's misrepresented what actually happened.
Correct. I mean, it's not just a matter of he assumed she got it back. He said she did get it back.
And he was in your office is in that building, correct?
Yes.
So it's not like he couldn't go check, right? Now,
I got it back a month ago.
a month ago. So I just want everyone to be clear. Now they've also put cameras in your office, correct?
Correct.
Okay, to watch you work, right?
Yes.
And put a human being in her office to watch her work.
I mean,
Who was that?
Well, when this all first happened, Sonia Kidney was in the office.
Literally the
Watching.
fox watching the hen house.
correct.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
So, all right. So now let's go to February 26th of 2025. Okay? Remember that day?
I do very clearly.
It'd be hard to forget that day.
Now, Supervisor Pizzalato and his gang of vigilantes
Call them minions for now.
took over on January 1st of 2024.
Yes.
Correct? So it's about almost 14 months that his reign has commenced
Yes.
before February 26, 2025.
Yes.
At any time during that 14 months, did John Pizzalato or anyone on his behalf come to you and say, hey, Sue, I want to understand how this office works. Some people have some concerns about some of the record keeping. Could you kind of walk me through this stuff?
No.
Never.
No.
Did anybody ever come to you? Did the town attorney ever come to you and say, we're receiving some complaints about the services in here, and we'd like you to answer some questions?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
Okay. When did that happen?
I don't remember which month, but there was an issue with the minutes being not
The
on
minutes.
time.
Okay. So we'll put them aside because although the job of the town clerk in Highland is to keep minutes of the board meetings
Yes.
and records of the votes on resolutions.
Yes.
And hold on to the resolutions. Okay, that's the clerk's job. In the
Correct.
county, it's Annie Martin, and in the towns, it's the town clerk. Okay.
Yes.
So they didn't come to you to say, geez, we're concerned that there's a couple of $1 million that's unaccounted for. They came to you about minutes of meetings.
Correct.
All right. Now, they're important. Those are the official records of the town. But I want to focus on the folly that they have been tried to carry out with this report. This report doesn't talk about minutes of board meetings. This report talks about your record keeping and the management of town resources, which are tax dollars.
Yes.
Did anybody ever talk to you prior to February 26th of 2025 about money being accounted for or how you were accounting for money or to walk us through how the money is accounted for?
No.
Never.
No.
All right. So on February 26th, and there's no better source to talk about what happened than you. February 26, 2025, there's a board meeting. It's a Tuesday night.
It was 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a special meeting called.
Oh, so the Town of Highland meets on the first 2 Tuesdays of the month.
Correct.
First one is a workshop, and then the second one's a regular board meeting. So this is a special meeting.
Yes.
Now, folks, that's very important because that means that some alarming information or some information has come to the attention of a board member or the supervisor that needs immediate attention, cannot wait one more week.
No.
That was
cannot.
February 26th. It would have
It's
been
immediate.
the next week. They would have had a meeting.
Their workshop would have been that following
Okay, well, I
Tuesday.
mean, they're all assembled, though. They can
Yes.
conduct business at a workshop.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe it was just a political theater?
Oh, it sounds a lot like it. And I remember when in the county, special meetings were called because if we didn't get a vote on something, some major piece of revenue was going to be lost.
Correct.
And we'd call these meetings, and then here would come the choreographed knuckleheads who would get up there and chastise the chairman for calling the special meeting. when it was maybe Nancy Buck that went to you to says, we have to have a vote on this bond today, or we're going to have
Correct.
a problem.
So unfortunately, the state does not care about your schedule. Okay.
Correct.
They care about their schedule, and you will comply with their schedule,
Right.
or you will have a nice day.
Correct.
Okay. And a lot of times that happens where when they're doing their budget, especially in the spring,
Right.
they come to you and say, okay, we need this, and this done. And you're like, I need a meeting for this.
Right.
And you're literally calling people up to try to get them into
Get a
the
quorum.
room. Yeah, I mean, you try and get 5 people into a room, and sometimes it's difficult. And then meanwhile, you must allow public comment at these things.
Right.
And so then people would stand up and say, you're ruining democracy, doing the whole routine, right? I mean, I'm tearing down democracy because we're accepting a grant of $18 million
In
for the
fact,
airport.
your opponents ran on a platform of no more special meetings.
Correct. And then they've had more than I had.
Correct.
In 2 years, they've had more than I had in 4 years.
So let's get back to Sue. So what, if anything, do you learn about the content of this special meeting prior to February 26th?
Nothing.
Not a thing.
Nothing.
And so the notice goes out. We have the special meeting. The town board is assembled. And what happens at that special meeting?
They read 2 resolutions to have me censored.
And they wanted to have you censured for what reason?
Well, there's the proof right there in their so-called audit.
Well, it's not an audit. And
There is no proof.
The censure, they never told you why you were being censured.
It was
Right.
all a shocking revelation right there at that meeting.
So we've got an emergency meeting is called 1 week before the regular meeting would have been.
Right.
And to set up the theater, got to be a special meeting, very important stuff. And we're going to censure the town clerk, who we've been working with for 14 months and never went to her to talk about any financial issues. Some minutes were not being produced on time. Okay, they didn't say, geez, maybe you need more clerical help because, January and February are kind of busy in a clerk's office because they're the tax collectors.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's kind of busy. I know that. We've got one of the best town clerks around in Lumberland, and I know how busy she is.
Correct.
It's
very difficult.
In January and February.
In the town of Bethel, we have a position of tax collector.
Correct.
And that's all they do.
That's all they do year round.
Yeah, that's all they do
Yeah,
night and
but
day.
in the small towns, it's the town clerks.
Yes.
And I know how busy they are. Okay, so after the meeting is over, okay, they do a censure. They don't have the authority to censure, by the way, because that's not in the town code. It's not in the law. They have no authority to censure you. But they did anyway, and that never stops.
Oh, let me tell you, the law, what makes sense and what's right, does not stop Johnny Pizzalato from acting.
Correct. So they passed this censure resolution with no authority. Folks, understand this. In order, anything that a town board or a county legislature does or a school board, they have to be given that authority by law, or they can pass their own. We had rules of the legislature. You have town codes.
You remember that time Nadia Rush tried to censure me?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. For giving someone what they asked for.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
They asked for a public, display. I said, okay. Then I was going to be given a censure for it. It failed miserably, but that's not here.
And when the county attorney said, Ms. Reich, Legislator Reich, you don't have the authority to censure. From the other side of the room, we had one of the other legislators say, I don't believe what you say. I want a real attorney to tell us. And it was very interesting that opinion was voiced by the county attorney, but came from the parliamentarian who is a Democrat.
Correct.
I guess it didn't matter.
From what I understand, it's going back to work for the county.
Going back to work for the county because that's the law.
Correct.
So, okay, so after the meeting, Sue, what happens on February 26th?
Well, there was a state trooper.
A state trooper is there.
At the meeting,
What was the crime?
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
What? The crime, I guess, was we got a couple of
I then
minutes
went
were late.
into my office, and the state trooper stood in my office, I guess apparently to make sure I didn't take anything.
But they don't have the authority to do that.
So this is, and remember, you're elected.
Yes.
You work for the people of the town of Highland. You don't work for the town board.
Right.
They have no authority over you. You're not their employee. You're an elected employee.
Yes.
You could get elected, take the oath of office on January 1st, never show up to work for 4 years. There's not a thing they can do other than go to Supreme Court to have you removed, because a Supreme Court judge can do that. Or they can wait to have the people of the town elect another town clerk.
Right.
But other than that, they have no authority.
So my question to you is, do you think that this has all been to intimidate you and get you to quit?
Yes.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
See, I mean,
And then I wonder who would get appointed.
that's funny. So let me understand this. So the person who is voting on everything that's trying to hurt you is running for the same position, okay? And if you were to say, enough of this isn't worth it to me, you would quit, okay, because you're being intimidated and you're having your role diminished, which they're not allowed to do legally. You would then, and you've never been brought up on charges or anything like that by the state troopers, correct?
I have not.
Okay. So on the police blotter, it says nothing. I mean, it literally says nothing.
Nothing, because there is nothing.
Okay. So then they would appoint their friend, Sonia Kidney, okay, and then they would just appoint someone else to the town board. That's how it would go down, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Convenient.
Well, that's convenient.
Did Sonia Kidney vote on that censure resolution?
Yes.
Convenient.
So
Remarkable.
So
And we're talking about democracy.
okay. It's like Adam Schiff sitting there talking about,
Right.
Donald Trump's a bad guy and does sneaky stuff.
Right.
But by the way, he doesn't lie on his mortgage applications. By
Correct.
the way, and he doesn't leak confidential information. By the way,
But I think that you're allowed to lie on a mortgage application because I think the Attorney General of the state of New York did that. Said her primary residence was in Virginia.
And she was married to her father.
Well, is that? All right. So after the meeting on February 26th, the state troopers are there.
Yes.
And the only thing that you are aware of at this point is that there's an allegation that some of the minutes of the meetings of the town board were not produced expeditiously.
Correct.
No. Hold on one second. Now,
There were 2 resolutions passed that day. I can't recall because they were a couple pages. I don't recall.
Now, did the town supervisor, Johnny Pizzalato, who's more than welcome to come on the show any day
We
you
welcome
want,
him.
any day you want, be more than happy to have you. Okay. Ask you before this. Ask you to change the minutes of a meeting.
Well, not to change, maybe to amend. Which
You are a kind person.
So what happened? Well, to tell our audience, what did he ask you to amend minutes?
we've already amended 2 in the last couple of meetings.
Okay, but was that at a meeting that someone brought a motion to amend the minutes before they were approved? How did it come about that somebody can't ask you to amend the minutes?
These were minutes from 2024.
This is
and
when he
maybe
wasn't on the board.
2022.
This is when he wasn't even on the board.
2022.
I believe it was.
So he wasn't on the board then. He wasn't.
No.
He wasn't in the meeting.
No.
So he's asking to have minutes where he was not in the room for. Okay, he was not a person of authority in the town, and he's asking to amend those minutes.
Yes.
That is unbelievable. to
So
me.
again, for our audience, you go to the July meeting, and then in the August meeting, the first order of business is what?
To approve the
Approve the minutes.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes of our July meetings.
First,
a second?
Yep.
Now, he skips over to the next step, which is discussion.
Correct.
That was the other thing I observed, is that the word discussion never entered into it. It was just vote.
Because they've already decided
Of course.
what's going to happen.
Right.
I know for a fact, so a quorum in most towns is 3 people.
three.
Okay. They have multiple quorums at a time
Right.
in the town hall doing town business
Which you're not allowed to do.
with no public, public does not have access to that meeting,
Right.
which is illegal.
Right. So the minutes, is that what happens in Highland? Is the first order of business is to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
It depends on what Supervisor Pizzalato puts on his agenda.
So
The
we don't always
agendas-
approve the minutes.
No,
We don't approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
it depends on if they're on the agenda or not. If they
Okay.
remember to do them.
Okay, well that's unique that we don't
So
approve this.
the purpose of the minutes is to get a accurate historical
Record.
record of what happened in the last meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I mean, okay, so the minutes that he wanted amended, had they already been adopted and voted on and approved at a prior town board meeting?
Yes. They may not have been from 2022. I think one of them was, but Jim Act was still on the
Board.
council at that time.
Okay.
So that might have been for
Okay, so-
2024.
So
I
let
can't
me ask you
really.
this.
I don't. It's not refreshing in my brain right now.
I understand.
if I buy property in the beautiful town of Highland, I buy a house in Hewlin, could I just walk into your office and say, geez, I'd like to see the minutes from 2023's meetings? I could probably get them. And then could I ask you, could we amend some of this stuff? Because I don't really like the
No.
way they voted. You can't
No.
do that.
No.
Of course
It's not allowed?
not. I guess you're not allowed to do that. And that's essentially what he did. He wasn't even a member of the board. He came into your office outside a meeting and asked you to amend the minutes.
No, he was. This was recent. He was the supervisor.
No.
But he wasn't-
He's asking you amend minutes when he wasn't the supervisor. 2022. He was not. He was not the supervisor.
No, he was not.
Yeah.
And it was 2022 minutes that he wanted amended.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
It's remarkable.
that's incredible.
It's
to me.
incredible.
Because that's a setup to something.
Correct.
Right. I don't know what he has to have amended, but that's a setup to something.
To something. Yeah, because it's not just a mistake.
Knowing, let me tell you something. You don't care about minutes unless you're trying to change the historical record of what happened to set something else up.
Of course. All right. So let's move forward now. So the state trooper is in your office.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
Yes.
State troopers just doing their job.
Right.
Now,
And supposedly they were then waiting for an investigator to come to seize the laptops from my office and my recording devices.
and they had never said a word to you about suspected malfeasance or anything.
No.
Okay.
So
And then I was asked to leave.
So the
So
state
they-
trooper,
I was asked to leave the office.
But by who?
By the board.
So the board's asking you to leave your office, which they have no authority over
Right.
you
My
whatsoever.
deputy stayed.
Okay. I mean,
and they have no authority over the deputy.
correct.
Right.
She's your employee. Correct.
So they
She's
ask
appointed
you
by
to
me.
leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ask you to leave, and they're waiting for an investigator to come to seize your computer.
Yes.
All right. What percentage of the work that you do in that office is computer-based?
Almost 100%.
Of course. I mean, even in the town of Highland, this is 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much everything is computer-based.
Yeah. The machine is used for everything.
The machine,
And
the machine rules.
The machine that I have, I can do the minutes on. I cannot do anything else. I cannot do
We're going to
fishing.
get to that. We're going to get to that. So
you can play solitaire.
You sound like my daughter.
I assume that the machines in the clerk's office probably like the machines in the county clerk's office. You have software that's specific to the work that you do.
Correct.
Included in that probably bank reconciliations, bank deposits, purchasing hunting licenses or fishing licenses. That's all done on the computer.
Yes.
On the machine.
Yes.
And there's special software. It's not just, you don't just go out on the old InfoWeb
Right.
and get it. You have special
Yes.
software that allows you to do that.
Yes.
Usually it's from the state of New York, a lot of it probably.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. So February 26th, do they actually take your computer, your machine?
Yes.
All right. Who takes it?
I can't answer that
Wow.
because I was not in the office when it was taken, and I was told that it was an investigator that took it.
So I want to back up here. So they ask you to leave.
Correct.
Okay.
Your office.
Your office.
Elected office.
Okay. And then the machine goes missing, right? Someone takes it, clearly.
Yes.
Okay. And then you don't know who took it.
No, I do not.
And did the state police say, hey, we have your machine? Did they call you and tell you
No.
this is where you're at?
No.
Nothing. So you have no idea where this thing is at that time?
No.
Okay.
So the next day you come into work. When do you first learn that your machine is taken? That night or the next day?
That night. I had called my deputy to ask what happened in the office.
But you're home already.
I'm home.
You were told to leave the premises.
Right.
An elected official told to leave the premises.
Right.
Folks, I don't know what this is, but I know this is not democracy.
Correct.
This is what we would see in the old Soviet Union.
Or the new Soviet Union.
Or even the new Soviet Union. This is what we see.
The old Soviet Union is like the old Soviet
We may see it in the new New York City, though.
Union. There you go.
Okay.
I did not go back into that office for at least 2 weeks.
Okay. Were you on vacation? Why did you not go in?
I wanted to get representation.
Okay. Very good. Because you had no idea what was happening here.
Correct.
So let's go to the 27th of February. Did anybody serve you with any legal documents?
No.
Did anybody call you to say, Sue, we're very troubled about money that's missing?
No.
Nobody said a word to you.
No.
So you show up for work then a couple of weeks later.
Yes.
And you go into your office, and is your computer there?
No.
Was your computer on your desk?
No.
Before the 26th of February, where was your computer?
On my desk.
On your desk.
Yes.
So now there's nothing on your desk.
Right.
All right. Now.
I had attempted to, I believe when I first went back, I attempted to, which I did do, go to a board meeting.
Okay.
And they asked me not to be there.
So they're asking you not to be part of the public.
Correct.
The town board,
Yes.
it's elected, has no authority over the town clerk, tells the town clerk, who has a lawful duty to be there,
Correct.
they tell you not to be there
Yes.
with no authority to do that.
None.
Then they ask you not to be in the audience. They ask you to stop being a member of the public of the town.
Public even.
Yeah, not even of the town. Anyone's allowed into a town. It's a public meeting.
Right. All right. So let's fast forward now. What work are you able to do without your machine?
I can file. I could answer phones.
So if a nice young couple shows up at the window,
Even old people can do this, Mike.
even old people can, but
Get married.
a nice young couple or old couple wants to show up and get married, they got to get a marriage certificate license from you, right?
Yes.
All right. So these folks come and we're deeply in love and we're ready to get married and you're the only one in the office. By the way, how many total employees in the town clerk's office?
2.
2. So your deputy is out to lunch, right?
Or off.
Or
on
off.
vacation.
Right.
Sick day.
people want to get married. They've driven up from Long Island to get their marriage certificate at the marriage license at the Town of Highland.
Right.
They're going to get married in a beautiful spot
Right on the
along
river.
10 Mile River.
Okay,
Right,
but
right.
I can give them the paperwork
Mm-hmm.
and do that paperwork for them.
Yeah.
But collecting the money and getting the money into the computer system
Oh, wait, hold on.
was not something I could do.
So Bonado said they couldn't figure out, the deposits.
Right.
And it didn't match up. There was too much money.
Right.
But maybe that's because we couldn't enter it into the
enter it.
computer.
So
that's more, I think, for the tax collection.
Yeah.
So
please, with the
you-
tax collection.
so you could not totally serve those people.
No.
You couldn't. If somebody wanted a hunting license, if it was April 1st and they want to get a fishing license, what
I
do they
still
do?
can't do it.
You still can't do it.
No.
To this very day.
To this very day.
And that is the duty of the town clerk.
Right.
And they have taken that away from you.
If
So
my
this is-
deputy is not there, I send them to Lumberland.
So this is August 21st.
And we're happy that they go to Lumberland because in Lumberland, Lori will take care of them.
So August
Correct.
21st, 2025, the town clerk in Highland still
Yep.
cannot do the basic functions of her job.
Correct.
Okay.
And that is, after this report comes out, that is nonsense. Okay. There's no doubt we could go on for 4 hours here.
Correct.
Probably.
But we've already got that signal from Jacob.
Jacob is probably getting, his stomach is probably rumbling. It's time to head over to the Munson Diner and get a little something. But Ian Sullivan is sponsored by the Wurtsboro Diner.
Oh my, we're so busy down
So,
there.
Jacob, we love the Munson Diner.
Yeah, we do.
We love the good
Fine
people
folks.
over there.
Fine folks.
But as long as you're done, Jacob, here, head down to Wurtsboro, go to the Wurtsboro Diner. Anyway,
I'll buy you a cup of coffee. Jacob.
so Sue, let's get into the Bonado report just for a minute. The Bonado report and what the River Reporter has run with is this $5.4 million of unaccounted for deposits. Did you and Hank donate $5.4 million to the Town of Highland?
That'd be nice of you if you did.
You didn't do that, did
We
you?
did not.
You did not. All right, Hank, relax, Hank.
Take it
Relax,
easy,
Hank.
Hank.
Get
Take
the ticker is fine. Get the kitchen cabinets up. Sue didn't give $5.4 million away. All right. So my question to you is, Bonado says, well, there's no records of those receipts. Now, having worked at the county end, I know that we did tax foreclosures on people who didn't pay their taxes. If there's no record of a specific person paying their taxes, they would be foreclosed,
Right.
even though you deposited all the money and that was approved by John Pizzalato. Was there a method for tracking if that nice young couple that got married comes up now and they're going to pay their taxes on January 15th? How does your office account for their section, block, and lot, their address, the taxes are paid?
Well, it would go into the tax program,
And that's
then,
on your machine.
no longer on my machine.
It was on your machine.
It was on my machine, and we would run what is called a batch report. That would list everybody that paid.
every
in that-
every transaction.
Every transaction would have their SBL. It would have their name. It would have their address. It would say if they paid by cash or check, the check number. Attached to that batch report is the receipt from the deposit of the bank.
Is that exactly how Doreen Hansen did it for 20
Yes.
years?
So it's also the way that Nancy Buck, the treasurer of our county, said, okay, all the money's here.
Because all the money's there.
Okay.
All the properties are accounted for.
And John signed off on it.
Correct.
Okay. And you're more than welcome to come on anytime you want, John. I'd love to have this conversation with you. I would block out 2 hours for you, John. Trust me when I tell you.
We sure would.
Okay. So all the money has been deposited, all the money has been collected, and it's all been accounted for, I think down to over a 2-year period, like 37 cents or something silly like
Correct.
that. Okay.
So now, when the Bonado group spoke to you and said to you, geez, Sue, when you take in a check for taxes.
The Bonado group never spoke to me.
What?
What?
You're the clerk.
I never spoke to anyone from the Bonado group.
Do you speak with Doreen Hansen?
I do.
So when they called Doreen to say, geez, tell us how the protocol worked for
I do
20
not
years.
believe that they ever spoke to Doreen.
She was not on the list, by the way.
She's not on the list.
Okay.
No.
Now, so Bonado says there's no record. At some point, the state police came back to your office and tried to seize some records, correct?
There was a representative from the Bonado group
Yeah.
that came in and that was speaking to my deputy.
Your deputy.
Yes.
Who works for you and is appointed
Yes.
by you.
Yes.
Just to
And
be
she
clear.
was pulling up records off of the computer, which I had asked to not have that done.
In your office.
In my
Your
office.
elected office.
Yes.
They had no warrant. They had no authority from anyone. They just walk in and say, we want your records.
Right.
wouldn't-
Supervisor Pizzalato was in there. Deputy Supervisor Sonia Kidney.
The person running for your job.
The person looking for your job.
Yes. And the representative from Bonado, and put my deputy in a
Very precarious situation.
Very precarious situation.
At some
At
point, did
that
they call
point-
the state police also?
They did after having the attorney for the town, Javed Afsali, on the phone telling them that they are in the right to do what they are doing. I was adamant about not letting them do that, and they called the state police on me.
So you, as the town clerk, you who has an obligation to the taxpayers in the town to safeguard those records, if that young couple walked in your office and said, we want all of these records that you gave to the Bonado group, would you give them to them?
Absolutely not.
Of course not. You've got information that's got people's names, addresses, social security numbers maybe, dates of birth, all that, and they just gave it over.
Right. And at that time, I was accused by Sonia Kidney of being corrupt and that she has the proof.
So she goes on to say at
It's like Adam Schiff.
Yeah. She goes on to say at a town board meeting, there's all this cash in the safe.
In the vault.
In the vault.
In the vault.
Okay. I have to tell you for the last time.
Al Capone's vault.
Okay. If it's in the vault, the town is in possession of the money.
Correct.
Okay? And let me tell you something, folks. You elect her to another office, you're electing her and her husband. They are going to stand there. Anytime anything goes wrong, he's going to be in the audience screaming at you. Trust me, I watched this go on in Monticello. I've watched it in other places. That's what's going to happen.
In fact, it's her husband that showed up at a board meeting not long ago and asked the question, when are we going to hear about the $4 million that was stolen?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Correct.
Bonado didn't find a dime stolen.
In fact, they found
found extra money.
There's too much money. And then they never went to the accounting firm,
Right.
Cuba Arias, fine accounting firm, very legitimate accounting firm.
Yeah.
And they never went there and asked them questions.
Now, Sue, have you worked with Cooper Arias?
I have not.
Okay, so let's look at 2024. John Pizzalato and his gang are running the board,
Yes.
right? And maybe they think that there's some anomalies in the town clerk's office, right?
Well, they can't tell you what they are.
They can't tell you what they are,
they're
but
just
they
casting
have
aspersions.
suspicion.
They're casting aspersions, actually.
So do they bring in Cooper Arias or any other accounting firm to do an audit, a true audit of the clerk's office?
No.
Did they come in and do a certified accounting of the clerk's office?
Not of the clerk's
Do they
office,
call the
no.
county and ask Angela Chevalier to come in and do an audit?
No.
Did you hear anything from Nancy Buck or Angela Chevalier from the county about wanting to take a look at your records?
No.
Not a word. So he goes a whole year when he could have uncovered stuff for a lot less money, and then he hires Bonado in an election year to do a $64,000.
So let's get something straight. They
Investigation.
spent $64,000, okay, on a report, okay, that doesn't tell you anything. They don't talk to the people.
Well, it
that
tells
they need
you a
to talk
lot.
to.
It tells you that there's no money missing.
There's no money missing. They don't have enough money for defibrillators.
Correct.
They don't have enough money to put a proper lock on the Barryville firehouse. Okay.
Right.
They don't have enough money to hang the banners for the veterans.
$1,200. They don't have $1,200. They're going to stand on a pickup truck and a ladder.
But the good news is that Mel Carney donated the money to the town. Is that correct? Mel Carney donated the money?
Yes, she did donate the money. It has not yet been deposited.
Okay.
So the money to do the lift.
To do the lift to pay for it. After the town guys were kind enough to donate their time.
Yeah.
Okay. And in that same meeting, they turn around and say, Tommy Migliorino turns around and says, maybe we should charge,
Yeah.
the veterans to maintain a piece of town property
Right.
known as Heroes Park.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where we're at in the town of Highland, folks.
Right.
Not voting for common sense like Sue Hoffman, you're ready to go over the deep end in that.
Yeah,
town.
it's just, and in fairness, it was Tom Migliorino at that meeting that tried to bring some sanity to say, well, what do you mean you're going to put a new defibrillator in the courthouse, but not in the town hall? So what are we going to, if somebody gets sick, gets a heart attack in the town hall, they die, but in the court, we can survive? I mean, it's crazy.
But the bottom line is, if you didn't spend that $64,000, you would have had plenty of money to do
You
all
could
of
have
it.
put defibrillators on every corner in the town.
Come on, stop.
It's crazy. So, as of today, so now in 2024, the first year he's in office, he does not bring any accounting firm, any auditors into your office to take a look at what's going on.
No.
He never comes to you to say, geez, explain to me how your systems work here.
No.
I'm the treasurer of the town. I'd like to understand. At some point, did you prepare a report of taxes and bring it to him? Of taxes paid that he had to sign off on?
Yes.
Okay.
That has to go to the county.
Right. So your office prepared that
Yes.
and brought it to him.
Yes.
And did he sign it?
Yes.
Did he ask any questions?
No.
Did he say, because, I mean, I know that the Lumberland Fire Company came to the town for the town in Lumberland to sign off on the hours that people had worked. And our supervisor, Sue Hoffman, does a great job down there. She said, well, I'd like to see the records because you're asking me to certify it. I want to see the records so I know what I'm certifying. And to their credit, Ann Steinley came in. She had all the records in a couple of 3-inch binders. She went through it with the board. Everybody was satisfied. Their records were perfect. And the board signed off on it. He never asked you to look at the records.
No.
He just signed a blank check. And then he complained about it.
But this is the same guy that keeps referring to this as an audit.
As an audit.
John has repeatedly called this an audit. John, this is not an audit. Okay, listen to me. You got to stop calling it an audit because it's an actionable offense.
It's literally the $64,000 question.
Okay.
Is this an audit? Well, you only have to read. We know sometimes people don't read to the second page.
Second page. It's the second paragraph on the first page.
In bold print, summary of roles and responsibilities. We were not engaged to and did not conduct an audit.
But here's my question. You just spent $64,000 of the taxpayers' money on a witch hunt.
Correct.
Okay? It's a campaign contribution, okay? An in-kind campaign contribution. And you don't know whether it's an audit or not? Correct. You are not capable of running a town. You're not. You don't have the skills to run a town.
As the town supervisor, your words you use matter.
Correct.
When somebody at Peck's Market says, "Oh, did you hear about that audit?" Okay, they may not really understand the difference. But if you're going to run the town, and you're going to pay money, go ahead.
The difference between a lay person saying that,
right?
Okay, they can call it whatever they want.
Correct.
Okay, but you, as the town supervisor, the chief financial officer, the treasurer of a town, not knowing whether it's an audit or not, okay, is a serious problem and brings in serious concerns about your ability to run the finances of a town.
Because, folks, an audit carries with it certain connotations.
Correct.
That everything was looked at. They came in selectively, asked for certain records. The objection of the clerk, not because she had anything to hide. The clerk had nothing to hide, but she has an obligation to safeguard your personal information. And there was no legal authority for Bonado to get that information, but they only got information they asked for and then write a report about, whoa, we didn't see these things. You didn't ask for it. Because had they asked for those batch reports that laid out every town that was, every property that was paid,
Every transaction, correct.
they could have had that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it gets worse, by the way. Mm-hmm. And this is why this is happening. Because the town attorney is enabling John Pizzalato to do this.
Well, he's not sitting on him. He's not saying, look, you're going overboard.
This is the guy that did not, for 6 months, ask if who told his boss Sue has her computer back, okay?
Right.
Her machine back, okay? Which she did not.
And she still does.
And I still
because she has a machine that has no software on it.
So, do you play solitaire? But anyway,
I do not.
Okay.
I'm not on the taxpayers' money.
But anyway, so he says, and this is a quote. I'm not saying this. Mm-hmm. This is a quote in the River Distorter. Okay. Mm-hmm. Disparities between system recorded and actual bank deposits raise serious concerns about whether all funds received by the clerk's office have been properly deposited, accounted for, or even retained. Okay, guy, listen to me. Okay, I know you're an attorney. Maybe you're not an accountant. But it was your firm that hired the Bonado group.
Correct.
I would like to see what they asked them to do.
Correct.
Because the Bonado group doesn't just show up.
Right.
Okay? It's a contract. Mm-hmm. And they were told what to do.
And it's usually very specific.
In fact, I think that we should foil that.
Be a good idea.
Okay? We should foil what Harris Beach Murtha asked the Bonado group to do, okay? Because it is a contract, okay? Mm-hmm. And if they don't say it's an audit, if they don't say we were looking for this, by saying this, you're just playing into your boss's hands.
Well, and there is the interesting sleight of hand, because it may not be foilable from a law firm.
Correct.
There's the sleight of hand, folks.
But meanwhile, he's mouthing off at meetings saying these quotes. Mm-hmm. But again, you did not talk to the clerk. You did not talk to the former clerk. You did not talk to the accounting firm that does all the auditing for the town.
And the clerk's office takes in money.
Correct.
Town's obligated annually to do at least a certified accounting of all the departments that collect money.
Has not happened.
He didn't do that in 2024. So Cooper Arias would have been able to tell him.
But I tell you what he did do. He bought a building for, what was that, $80,000? $78,000. That the people who had bought it for less than $20,000.
Right.
Okay. He said it was going to be 20 parking spots, went down to 6 parking spots, and is now going to be a town park. Okay. But after the sale of that, he paid off his personal debt of $47,000.
Incredible.
I'm not saying that it's suspicious. I'm just laying out the facts.
What's interesting in the article that appeared in the River Reporter, now, the River Reporter is not classified generally as a conservative media outlet.
Are you talking about the River Distorter?
Correct.
Okay. Just want to be clear on what paper we're talking
Writing
about.
to the River Reporter following the meeting, that's the meeting that I was present at last week.
Yeah.
Pizzalato said, I advise you to speak with extreme caution regarding the clerk's censuring and her attorney's efforts, and stated that there would be implications for publishing a one-sided story referencing an unrelated lawsuit involving a separate media organization. That sounds like a threat.
That is a threat.
That sounds like the town supervisor threatening a local media outlet, which has been very friendly to the town supervisor.
In fact, he wrote a letter. He wrote an article one time for them, which he called the Haas family, the Klan.
The Klan.
Using a K instead of a C.
Yep.
Okay. And they printed that.
They printed it.
That's who this organization is.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And now they're not giving him every single puff piece he could possibly have. And now he's going after them.
So from February 26th to August 21st, Sue has had no obligation, no opportunity to be heard. No one has ever talked to her. They never called her into executive session. He never went to speak to her about inconsistencies. But he signed off on all the reports.
He has signed off on all the reports.
Correct.
Keep that in mind.
And then he allows for public comment, and a representative of Sue's tries to make a comment, and he cuts him off after 2 minutes.
Correct.
That's the rule. And that's fine. We respect the rule.
And that's the lowest rule in the county, by the way.
Correct.
Every school board, the county government, most towns is 3 minutes.
It's 3 minutes, and it's one person talking on an issue that you had the public sitting around for an hour for.
Correct.
They usually would give them a little bit extra time. I know that you always did.
Okay.
That's the first meeting that has ever happened.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow! and it's not like they're stacked up like cordwood. I mean when we had public hearings on the nursing home and stuff like that, we sat there 2 days,
8 hours.
8 hours. We sat there and listened to comment after comment after comment after comment, and we never cut anyone off.
Yep.
Before 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, trust me, after 8 hours, it gets pretty repetitive. And we understand people were passionate about the issue. But we never cut anyone off, and we let him go the full 3 minutes.
So he cuts off the person that is trying to get the rest of the story out there and raise the issue of, why is Sonia Kidney voting on stuff that she has an inexorable conflict in? And that's not enough to slam the door on that speech. He then threatens the local newspaper that you better not print something that tells the truth.
This is crazy.
This is the guy that we have running one of the more picturesque, beautiful slices of Americana in Sullivan County.
Correct.
It's really incredible. Sue, any last minute, because Jacob is standing on his head over here.
Chomping at the bit, Jacob.
He's hungry.
He's hungry.
He's a grown boy.
Any last minute comments you want to make?
I just want to thank the people of the Town of Highland that do support me. I have a lot of them.
You have a lot of support.
I do.
You're an honest, hardworking person who's a Democrat.
Yeah.
We're not political here at Ion Sullivan.
We're
we
not.
have Democrats, we have Republicans, and we invite Mr. Pizzalato. We'll log out 2 hours, and we'll give him the opportunity to put out, because he hasn't put it out yet, what his side of how it is that he could diminish the role of an elected official with no authority whatsoever, spend $64,000 on a report that says essentially, geez, Mr. Pizzalato, you didn't do a very good job, apparently, of cross-referencing your own accounting.
Correct. By the way, accounting that you signed off on.
Signed off on it. Absolutely.
You signed off on this.
And you selectively got records without ever asking, geez, how are these receipts recorded?
Let me understand how this works.
Right. Never asked that question.
No.
In the year and a half that he was in office before his February 26th
14 months, we'll say.
14 months before his February 26th action takes place. Folks, this is not democracy at work at all. Chairman, last word.
Okay, I don't live in the town of Highland. I'm not going to tell anyone how to vote in the town of Highland. But I would not tolerate in the town of, I live in the town of Bethel, I would not tolerate this for 5 seconds. There would be an uproar and that person would be, in a fair and honest election, would be removed from office. And I think any board member that votes along with him should be removed as well.
Yeah, it's really terrible. And to have Sonia Kidney voting on issues that affect her home, affect her pocketbook, to have her husband get up there and make a claim of $4.2 million missing, there was no good faith basis for him to believe that. So,
well, no, Javed has said several, the meeting before, he reads the pre-report, and he misleads people in that, and then he misleads them again in the River Distorter and the last.
Correct.
I mean, I don't think he understands. He does not work for John Pizzalato. Mm-hmm. He works for the Town of Highland. Because I'll tell you this.
Correct.
I know this for a fact that Councilperson Haas has asked several times for documentation, right, and he refuses to give it to her.
In fact, tells her, you're not allowed to contact me.
Correct.
Right.
Okay? Yes, I am. You work for the town board. I'm a member of the town board.
Representative.
Correct.
Incredible.
Thank you, gentlemen, for
Folks,
inviting me.
Folks,
Gentlemen's
we wish
stretch,
we could turn the camera right now to see Jacob is got his head down and he is just begging us to sign off. So, on behalf of the chairman, Rob Doherty, we thank Clerk Sue Hoffman for joining us today. We urge the people in the town to restore some bit of sanity to that town and keep Sue in the office that she has served well for the last several years. We remind you to repost this, folks, on your Facebook pages, on whatever social media you have. Please don't take excerpts. Take the whole show, repost it. We need to get subscribers up to 1,000, so you want to be sure to subscribe to Eye on Sullivan. We will keep our eye on what's happening in Sullivan County and deliver it to you. John Pizzalato, you know how to contact us. You want to be on Eye on Sullivan? You want to tell your side of this folly? Come on in. We'll let you sit in the same seat.
And if you have to be willing to answer some questions, though, John.
Oh, yeah.
Understand that.
You're going to have to answer some questions.
There's going to be an open dialogue here.
Correct. And watching us on YouTube, which a lot of folks do, right now, before you run out to vote for Sue Hoffman, right now you want to
smash
that like button, because that helps us out. That helps us bring you the kind of content. And by all means, leave us a comment. You agree with what we say? You disagree? Leave us a comment. Or you could drop us an email at ionsullivan@gmail.com. So, on behalf of the chairman, Rob Doherty, and our guest today, Sue Hoffman, I am Mike McGuire, thanking you once again for joining us. As the summer fades into our memories, we want to be safe on the water, safe on the highways. We will be back next week with another edition of Eye on Sullivan.